Gonna be completely honest, this is try number 2 because I went to shift my iPad over to the side and accidentally hit the home button. So, last video I made on this channel was talking about dropping out of beauty school, which was about a month ago. And, you know, I was sitting here thinking about how I haven't posted in a bit. It's like 9:30 at night. I'm bored as shit. So I figured I'd make a video. This video is just talking about weird or interesting or kind of concerning things that happened in my childhood. And when I say childhood, I know most people, when you think childhood, you think like child. But me, I'm gonna consider childhood anything before 7th grade. Like, anything before the age of 13 is fair game here. So, I made a list of very vague things because not exactly the completely best mindset right now. So, like, the things on this list are really weird and vague, but for the most part, I know what they mean. First thing on the list, butts, okay. So, when I was a kid, I think I was like 7 or 8 years old, I had a weird thing about butts. Like, I smacked people's butts a lot. Not even just like people in my family, no, like basically anyone who was not a complete stranger and was like older than me, odds are I smacked their butt at least once. And the weird thing about that is, like, nobody ever told me not to do it. Nobody ever stopped me, nobody ever reprimanded me. No. All that anybody ever did about me smacking butts was laugh and call me a lesbo, which, looking back, very problematic. I mean, it's kind of funny looking to the future. They did not know how accurate that statement would be. But no, you would think if this little 7-year-old was going around smacking butts willy-nilly, you'd at least sit her down and say, hey, it's not appropriate to smack someone's butt. But no, like I said, all the adults in my life just laughed and called me a lesbo about it. So I just went on smacking butts until I got tired of touching butts. Luckily, no one ever pressed charges. Oh my god. I'm starting to question if that was the right one to start with, because this is... Okay. This next one is a lot less problematic. Bathtub naps is what I wrote down for that one, which, pretty self-explanatory. I used to... Okay, so basically, when I woke up for school in the morning, my mom would already have a bath ran for me, and I would just go take my bath and then get ready for school. I don't know when this started, but at some point I started just taking an extra nap in the bathtub. Like, I would dead ass be asleep in the bathtub. Which you may think, like, oh, isn't that, like, dangerous? It would be if I were younger, like 6 or 7 or whatever. I was in middle school taking naps in the bathtub in the morning. And then, like, my mom would, like, let me nap. And then she'd wake me up after, like, 15 minutes so that I could wash my hair. And then, like, get ready for school. So, yeah, for, like, pretty much the entirety of 5th and 6th grade, I would wake up and go to take my bath and then just, like, take a nap in the fucking bathtub for 15 minutes instead of just, you know, getting an extra 15 minutes of sleep in my bed like a normal human would. Yeah, and like I said, my mom was just totally chill with me taking bathtub naps. Hell, she even got me, like, an inflatable, like, bathtub pillow thing so that my head wouldn't be pressed against the hard tub when I took my naps. So not only did she allow the bathtub naps, she encouraged them. Go, Mom. Vampire. This is a quick one. When I was younger, I thought I was a vampire. Or I wanted to be a vampire. I honestly don't know, like, where on that spectrum I fell. I just know that, like, I thought vampires were really cool, and I either wanted to be a vampire or I legitimately thought I was a vampire, somewhere in there. And then, years later in middle school, it would all come full circle because in 8th grade, pretty much everyone that I went to school with thought I was a vampire. And you know what? I let them believe it because vampires are fucking cool. Art class. This is an interesting story. So, when I was in 2nd grade, my family had moved to a different city, actually into the house that I live in now. Yeah, I've lived here for a while. And I started at a new school. The trouble with that is, I started at a new school towards the end of the school year. Like, my first day at Garfield was April 1st. Yeah, kind of an awkward day for a weird new kid to start. Yeah, you can imagine how the rest of that 2nd grade year went. Now, I could talk about the bullying, which there was a lot of, and the staff members that had it out for me, which that one I want to make a whole separate video at some point because that's a story. Like, honestly, I think at some point there's going to be a whole video about the last 2 months of my 2nd grade year. But one thing in particular that I wanted to mention was my art class. I was in that art class for like a week and then ended up for the rest of that year not being able to do anything. All because we were doing like some embroidery type project thing. I don't even remember what it was. It was like when you had the like net thing that kind of looked like a fly swatter and you were like looping the yarn through it. Like, I don't even know what what the like actual name for it is, but yeah, we were doing that. And we had like the really thick like needles that you couldn't actually like stab anything with it, but like it was still like a little bit pointy at the tip. There was this kid in my art class. We weren't really friends, but we had that sort of like weird kid solidarity. We were in line to like go up and get more yarn. And like we just kind of silently in unity decided to like play like some weird game where I was like a tamer, like, and he was like a monkey, and I was like I wasn't actually poking him with the goddamn needle. I was pretending to poke him with the needle. And then like the girl in front of us told the teacher that I was stabbing him with the needle. And like she asked him if I was, and he said no. And then she didn't believe him, and I got in trouble. And you would think, okay, I just like get sent to like talk to the principal or whatever. No, she sat me, like the teacher, she had sat me at like a desk in like a corner of the room where I didn't get to do anything. And that wasn't for a week, that was for the rest of the school year. So yeah, from the beginning, that school did not like me. But yeah, Tall Tales. I wouldn't say I was a liar when I was a kid, but I was quite the storyteller. I would like randomly make things up and like tell other kids like these things about myself to like try, like, I guess to like make them think I was cool, even though it just made me look like an idiot because of how obvious the lies were. One example, I tried to convince a group of kids that Beyonce was related to me. I don't think I need to go into detail about why that was a stupid one. But yeah, like, I don't know why I felt so compelled to like tell these stories to other kids. Because like nobody ever believed him, which you'd be really stupid if you did believe him, honestly. I just fucking told people a bunch of crazy shit thinking that made me sound cool. Those lack of social cues there. Horror movies. Okay. I am obsessed with horror movies. Anyone that knows me knows I love horror movies so much. When I was a kid, however, I saw like one scene from Child's Play 3, specifically the scene where he killed the dude with the garbage truck. And after that, I had this weird dream similar to that scene, but instead of the Chucky doll, the doll looked like Lilo's doll from Lilo and Stitch for some reason, like just a little like rag doll type of thing. I don't know, it was weird, but like I just kept having dreams of like this little weird rag doll thing. Like I said, it looked kind of like Lilo's doll in Lilo and Stitch. Just killing me. I don't know why. It was just a weird recurring dream I had. Speaking of weird recurring dreams, the weird Elmo dream. That's what I put it as. Another recurring nightmare I had was Elmo. This is really weird, and a part of me still wants to still seriously wants to talk to like a dream specialist or something to see what the fuck it means. But essentially the dream was Elmo getting buried alive while like the two like dog guys, like y'all know what I'm talking about when I say the like dog guys, right? Like when he like during Elmo's world when he like opens the door and it's like the like realistic like anthropomorphic dogs, like they were just like standing there while Elmo was getting buried alive. And that dream really fucked me up when I was a kid. Like I would wake up in tears because like fucking Elmo kept getting buried alive whenever I went to sleep. Like it was really fucked up. Like I said, I still want to like I still want to at some point like talk to a dream specialist and see what the fuck that means. Like why Elmo? Why being buried alive? Why the combination of those two things together? Like I know I liked Sesame Street, but like what the fuck? Alright. Inverted toe. Okay. So I personally have no memory of this. But enough people in my family have told me about this to where I'm like 90% sure it is a thing that did indeed happen. And my sister's not just full of shit because she's not the only one that's told me about it. Okay. So apparently, when I was younger, like younger, like 5 maybe, someone had slammed the the screen door into my pinky toe on my right foot so hard that my toe like kind of went into my foot. I don't know how the fuck that's possible. Like I said, I don't remember it happening. I just know that a few different people in my family have told me about it happening. So I am in the position where it makes more sense to believe them than to argue. Apparently my dad had to like squeeze my foot and like pop it out too. Like apparently briefly I had an inverted toe. And last thing I got on my list, bitten nose. Okay. So growing up, me and my cousins were all very close. Like we saw each other all the time. And when you grow up seeing your cousins almost every day, you develop a similar relationship to them as you do your siblings, wherein sometimes you're best friends, and other times it's World War III. And one of those times, of the latter, because talking about joyous events is no fun. One time, me and my cousin Summer, who is the closest cousin to my age, being only a year older than me, one time me and her got into it, and I don't know what we argued about, But apparently we got into it so bad. Now, I might get this wrong because I always forget who did the thing, but I'm pretty sure she bit my nose. Like I said, I always kind of get it mixed up in my head, so I could have bitten her nose, but either way, someone bit the other one's nose. Now, like I said, I don't know what the fight was about, but you know you're pissed off if you're going around biting bitches' noses. Speaking of which, bonus thing, one time when I was in 2nd grade, before we moved to here, there was this kid in our neighborhood that liked to pick on me. I wouldn't call him a bully, because, like, our family, like, he was my neighbor and our families were friends, and I don't think our families would be, like, super close if he was, like, legitimately bullying me. But he liked to pick on me. One day he got a little bit rough, pushed me off my bike. My sister, now to, like, add, bit of context to, like, age ranges and stuff, I was in 2nd grade, he was in 3rd grade, my sister was in 4th grade, just to give, like, the context of ages and stuff, because I feel like that adds a little bit more weight. Anyways, my sister, I went home, she asked me why I, like, wasn't riding my bike, because I had, like, spent so much time convincing my parents to let me ride my bike up and down the street because it was, like, raining, but not, like, super heavy rain. I was so excited when they, like, finally decided to let me ride my bike, even though it was raining. So my sister asked me why I came back so quickly, and I told her, oh, Trent pushed me off my bike. She instantly went outside and, like, I don't know what the whole exchange between them was, but it ended with her biting his eye. Yeah, me and my sister didn't really get along that well when we were kids, but she must have liked me at least a little bit because she bit a kid's eye because he pushed me off my bike. Alright, that's all the weird, interesting tales of my youth that I have. Maybe in the future I'll make another one when I think of more insane shit that happened. And yeah, as usual, socials will be in the description. Feel free to follow me on shit. And I'll see y'all later.